what positives you take from the Columbus to celebrate in this season?
Well, the fact that we managed to play one good game, creating many nice chances. We're actually, with being more clinical and more focused in those moments, we could have scored a couple of goals, even in the first part of the game, to make Odisha suffer. But in these kind of games, you will not have, like I just said, down there, 25, 30 chances. This is a tough game. This is a knockout phase. And whenever you create chances, you have to be concentrated to score those goals. Of course, the boys wanted to push that ball in the net, that's for sure. But again, in this kind of game, if you don't score those goals, you get punished from the other side, you're eliminated. So there is a big disappointment because of that. The positive is that, again, I don't know how many times this season, we had to manage to rebuild the team again throughout the season with many issues, many injuries. I'm very happy to see the way how some of these boys performing, how these boys are growing up, especially many of them who are playing the debut season. For them, it's still the recognizing the new stadiums all around India, all around ISL, showing them becoming important part of our club, hopefully later the important part of national teams as well. Of course, as a coach, it makes me proud. It makes me happy. It means that the way the club is working, it's the way we actually agreed on long time ago, and these kind of things are making our club stronger and better, especially these boys who are developed in our youth. On the other hand, many of new players who arrived this season also, they fit in greatly. Domestic players, some foreigners who arrived, but then losing many players from today's, again, positive. Yeah, it's a different feeling. From one side, you're disappointed because you're eliminated, because we wanted to continue in the playoffs. From the other side, kind of relief, because with many issues what was happening throughout the season, with the injuries and many other things that we couldn't control, it's kind of relief that the season comes to an end. So hopefully to rebuild the momentum for the next season, with players coming back after injuries and actually having the possibility to train together, to practice together, to play together, because this season we never had a chance to do that. So let's hope for that further development, getting quality players, which will happen, I'm sure of it, and then refresh a little bit with the vacation. Everybody has to go to families. Now it's been 9 months since we arrived, so actually kind of everybody needs that with everything what was happening. So I always stay positive with a smile.
Coach, unauthorized views and throughout the season. So what will be your message?
Well, again, we are so grateful to have this kind of support. I think that even tonight, again, we were playing in a away game, and it's far away from home, let's say from Kochi. But of course, they are our force. And every time, even tonight, the boys, they gave everything, they did everything, they were playing well. They were giving everything on the pitch against one really good team. If you look at Odisha, this is one of the most consistent team since the start of the competition. So they were playing all the time with full squad. They had all the players available, especially speaking about foreign players who are making the difference. So of course, I'm grateful for their support. I'm grateful for everything they were doing for us this season. Whenever we have this kind of support, we will never fail them. So tonight the boys, they were great. They were fighting. Again, conceding that kind of goals, it makes you disappointed. But big thanks to them for this season. Big thanks to them for every support, every moment we meet each other in Kochi, around Kerala, all around the world. So I'm so grateful to be part of their family. I didn't understand you, sorry.
Like you said, there were multiple injuries throughout the season, multiple times. So, how do you summarize the season? Will you be happy with it?
But, well, when you see everything again, because I don't want to use that as an excuse, but in a short-term competition like ISL is, so the bad thing is when hard injury happens. There is no time for that player to recover. And when it happens to one of your key players, it's difficult. When it happens to two of your key players, even more difficult. When it happens to all of your key players, strikers, it's more difficult. Then if you want to bring replacements, like it was the case in January, again, it's not the same. It's not easy because these boys, they need at least 1.5, 2 months to adapt, but there is no time. There are games. So then when you are trying to replace and you are trying to rebuild that momentum, you have to do it throughout the season with the games. So there is not, since January, there was not even a time for practice because mostly we were in the airports, in the terminals, in the planes. Many away games for us is like changing 2 flights to go there, changing 2 flights to go back. So again, losing many days for practice, young boys growing up even more quickly than it needed. And then, of course, we never had a chance to practice together with the full squad, you know. Or Dimi was missing, or Pepra was missing. Then, very disappointing the moment we lost Adrian. Then in October, I remember beginning October losing Iban and Jigson, for like Jigson of 4.5 months. Still didn't recover fully. Iban out till the end of the season, 9 months. So Sachin also out. Even tonight, Lara, we're like afraid that it's really serious. It's a long-term injury with the knee. So as a coach, you always try to go through those moments with positivity, to rebuild up. And in one season, when you start the season, you want to build up the way you play, the way you defend, the way you attack. And then the moment you reach that level with injuries, you crash and you reset to zero. You have to redo it again. If you do it twice in one season, it's a hell of a job. We did it 4 times. So we had to do it 4 times because every time when the moment we reached the level we wanted, getting that momentum, we were losing 1 or 2 key players. Again, rebuilding. Then the quality, it's not the same. The approach is not the same. You have to change your strategy. You have to change many things within your game. And as a coach, it's a big challenge. I must admit, for me personally, the hardest season I've ever had in my life as a coach. Now it's been 10 years. Because throughout the whole season, there were so many things that you cannot control. You have to deal with that. And next to those things, you have to rebuild the team at the end with the young boys, who actually even tonight, many of them, if you look at last 3 games we were playing, many of these boys, at the beginning of the season, they were not even in a squad of 20. You know, now in the last 4 months, they're starting 11 players because that's let's say in football you can not choose the moment, you know, you got chosen by the moment. So for these boys it was kind of okay, a little bit maybe faster growing up now, recognizing all those things, if it's a little bit maybe early, but we had to deal with that. So then you had to drill those things, you had to push those guys even sometimes over the limits. But that's the way it is in football. And we as a club, we actually need to do that because we have young boys in development program. You need to develop them to get them chance in the ISL, in Kerala Blasters later, maybe in the national teams, who knows, because I see around the other clubs around India that there are no more players, you know, and we lack the quality. Even in transfer window, there are no players that you can acquire, sign, or it's not available, or you cannot afford them. So what then? You have to produce them. Because even next year, if there is one more team in the league and no quality, no players, it will become scarce product. And for us, you know, as a coaching staff this season, it was hell of a job. But again, the boys, they know, we always stay positive with a smile. The fans, they know it. Everybody in Kerala is knowing it because I don't want to complain. Even if it was hard, in some moments, of course, you want to complain and you complain about, I don't know, injuries, referees, whatever, but all that, it becomes irrelevant at the moment when you face the reality or on the pitch. So today I think that we lack, in many moments we lack the quality to finish the game, to kill the game, to score those goals. We lack in the moment the way we conceded 2 goals, how to defend. So many of those things, especially with young boys, it's kind of, they recognize that for the very first time and they have to grow up with that maybe for the future and thinking, okay, this is the way how maybe next time we should do it better. But again, I'm happy, proud of them. Both feeling happy with the season because we developed many things. We reached many levels in the moment when we were actually a little bit complete with the team. We were sitting good. We were beating everybody in the team, whether we were playing at home or away. And of course, at the end, disappointed because we're out. So that's kind of mixed feeling of disappointed because we are not continuing, relieved because finally this kind of season comes to an end and where everybody has to regroup, refresh, try to get the people back who are injured and try to rebuild one new next season. So hope for that. Thank you guys. All the best.